This here is the Platin MILAN 5.1 wireless surround sound system. Wait, didn't you review that a little while ago? Close. But no. The Platin MILAN is the newer, more compact version of the Platin Monaco. Still packaged with the award-winning SoundSend wireless hub using WiSA technology. So is this sibling rivalry at its best? Did Platin compromise on sound by making the Milan a little bit smaller? Let's get into it. Hey everybody, my name is Elon Osborne, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about movies, audio, and music. And if that's the sort of thing you're into also, please take a moment to consider supporting this channel in these fine ways.
Like this video, subscribe, become a patron, rock some merch, get some tunes, read my children's book to you kids.
Link in description. Link in description.
Boy! First off, this is going to be more of a comparison video than a full-scale deep dive. So if you want to see more of the unboxing, or how to set it up, or how to navigate through the SoundSend app, please watch my review on the Platin Monaco, which I will also leave a link to in the description below. Now, for starters, the most obvious difference is the size. The box it comes in has the same width and the same depth, but it is a little bit shorter. And another thing about the box, you'll notice that the Monaco says it is tuned by THX, whereas the Milan is not. I'll talk a little more about that later. It's more apparent when placed next to each other that the size of the satellite speakers in the Milan are much smaller. The Milan satellites are 4.3 inches wide, 5.9 inches tall, and 3.2 inches deep, compared to the Monacos, which are 4.3 inches wide, 6.7 inches tall, and 5.5 inches deep. The Monaco satellites do not come with grills, so you get to see the woofer and tweeter in all their glory. And the Milan satellites have built-in grills that are not removable. Both systems' satellite speakers have these nice little pads, so you can in fact put them on a bookshelf or a speaker stand for that matter. If mounted, the Monaco satellites have mounting holes on the bottom, whereas the Milan's mounting holes are located on the back here because they are significantly lighter. One thing you'll notice with the Monaco is that the power cord that goes in is just meant to go straight in, straight like that. Boop. But the Milan satellite has this nice little cutout that is meant to house the power cord itself because it now has this 90-degree angle on it. So you would just stick it in like this, and there you go. Now it is flush against the back there. With that being said though, now it is definitely meant to be stuck on a speaker stand because it now goes down like this. Because this design now poses a little bit of a problem if you want to put it on a speaker stand or a bookshelf, because now you've got to have this little bend in it. I mean, it is meant to bend slightly, but me personally, I just don't like bending things like that. I mean, it is a little bit nitpicky, but it would have been nice to have some sort of option to choose between elbow or just going straight in, depending on if you're putting it on something or screwing it into a speaker stand. You can see in these promo photos that they're just sitting on top of a TV stand, so obviously you can do that. Another difference is that there is no elongated center channel with the Milan. You just get 5 of these little guys. With WiSA technology, you can assign any speaker to any position in your home theater space. But to make setup even easier, each speaker does have a designated spot listed on the back of it. Like this one, for example, says SR for surround right. Again, according to the promo photos, the designated center channel is on its side. But honestly, you don't really have to do that unless you just kind of like the look of it like that. But on the bottom, there's this nice rubber padding, but there's nothing on the sides that offer any kind of padding or protection. So I don't personally think it's necessary to put it on its side. And that is why these promo photos are a little misleading. Because if you were to put the center channel on its side, since it has this nifty little 90-degree power cord, putting it on its side means this power cord is definitely going to be sticking out one side or the other. When I tested these out, I just kept the center channel vertical, and it didn't change the sound quality at all. It was fine. The Monaco and Milan subwoofers are identical. still being low profile, and still rocking a 6.5-inch driver. How do they sound? Like the Monaco 5.1, the Milan delivers some spectacular, immersive surround sound. It was movie night with my kids when I first got this set up and running, so we watched Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. When Mewtwo becomes self-aware and is conscious, his voice just envelopes you from all sides. Where am I? Who am I? Where do I come from? So it was quite the coincidence when we decided to watch that movie, since it involves a character that speaks telepathically like that.
Side note.
When I tested out the Monaco a couple months back, I totally missed this blurb on the literature that comes with it that says you can change the output volume of the subwoofer on the subwoofer itself, including... Apparently these blue lights needed to be charged. Whoops! Where was I? Oh yeah. So because of the size of my living room, I turned the subwoofer to 99, which seems to be the max. 99 what? I'm not sure because it's not decibels, it's 99 of something. And on top of that, you can turn it up even more through the SoundSend app. I started off by putting the sub under this side table in close proximity to an outlet in the floor. But right away I could hear the low frequencies coming from my right, which I don't necessarily want to know which direction it's coming from. So then, because of its low profile design, I decided to put it under my couch. And that made a huge difference. Not only did it have much more of an effect being so close to me now, but it also made it more omnidirectional, with low frequencies seeming to come from no discernible direction, which is what you want, so I definitely had a much better subwoofer experience than I did with the Monaco. Granted, it's still only a 6.5-inch driver, so it didn't blow my socks off or anything, but it did add some good bass extension that is just necessary for a good home theater experience nowadays. One thing I did notice is that the Milan center channel definitely provided some dialogue that was much more crisp and detailed. There was a slight digital quality to the dialogue, so there's definitely maybe a little bit of digital enhancement going on in those frequencies. When I hooked up the Monaco again for a quick A/B test, the Monaco center channel was definitely a little bit more neutral, a little warmer than the Milan. It still sounded great, but just not as bright as the Milan. Although with the Milan, when the action picked up in any movie that I tested out, just like most soundbars or wireless systems, it just sounded a bit muddy. That's just the nature of these kinds of systems. You're relying on the speakers themselves or the TV to process the audio, which is always going to be subpar compared to a receiver or a preamp that has a much better processing chip in it to decode audio. So even though dialogue was crystal clear when there were scenes with just talking involved, once the action picked up, the dialogue just kind of got a little lost in all the chaos. So, even though the Milan does provide the listener with some great surround sound detail and immersion, with some excellent sounding dialogue, when I set up the Monaco again for this comparison video, the Monaco honestly did sound like the big brother compared to the Milan. The speakers are, well, bigger. And the Monaco must have gotten its THX certification because of the fact that these cabinets that the drivers are housed in are just very sturdy. And you've got this nice airflow port too. So it did just sound a bit fuller, more robust, a little more neutral and a little less digital. Both of these systems are Dolby Atmos compatible. So of course, with two systems at my disposal now, and WiSA being able to support up to 8 channels of uncompressed audio, of course, I tested out a 5.1.2 setup with the Monaco being my bed layer speakers, and 2 of the Milan satellites to be placed above my TV to create that gigantic wall of sound. And it was amazing. For what it's worth, it was an incredible experience. I know I'm in a unique position because you can't just go out and buy a pair of these little Milan satellites. But the beauty of WiSA and SoundSend is that you literally can use any WiSA certified speakers. Who is the Platin MILAN for? This is for those who love the ease of connecting a soundbar via one HDMI cable, but who like a wider, bigger soundstage. This is for those with a small to medium-sized living room with a large TV stand, or lots of built-ins surrounding your TV that you can easily place or hide these little speakers in. This would also go great in a master bedroom if you want something better than your TV speakers. Overall, I think this is a pretty cool system to have. In the future, I would like to see a version of this with Wi-Fi so that I could more easily stream music from it. But maybe that's not possible because of how WiSA sends their audio signals to these satellite speakers. Maybe it gets in the way of Wi-Fi. And with it retailing at $8.99, it's still pretty pricey compared to other soundbars in its class. Again, because of the nature of WiSA and being able to push out 24-bit 48 kilohertz audio signals, that's just gonna drive the price up. So I know WiSA means well by offering uncompressed audio, but I still think that the average consumer doesn't care enough to pay that kind of price. So until they can bring the price down, I think systems like the Monaco or the Milan will still be overlooked, even though the audio is superior to any other soundbar in its class.
So there you have it, folks.
I hope you enjoyed this review and comparison of the Platin MILAN 5.1 surround sound system. Is this something you think you'll want in your home? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss another video like this one. And of course, always be listening.